Hey, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing, Magic, and Mysticism, here to talk to you more about the occult and the paranormal. Well, today I'm going to be sharing a psychological technique in order to enhance your psychic abilities. But before I get into that, as usual, I just want to remind you that I am offering attunement, spiritual connections to various entities, angels, gods, goddesses, various other species of spirits that can assist you in leveling up your life, enhancing your magic, and making your life much smoother. So if you are interested, check it out, the link in the description. I have quite a few people who are getting remarkable results and making some big changes. Okay, so let's talk about today's video. So the psychological technique in order to enhance your psychic abilities. All right, so this exercise is a little bit different than the last one. In the last video, I talked more about how to use your imagination in order to facilitate sensitivity to psychic information, making your brain work a little better in a way to kind of carry that. This is actually going to give you more of a roadmap of in your brain, in your mind, in order to become the kind of psychic that you want to be. So let's go ahead and get started with that. All right. So I call this exercise the circle of power. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to sit, relax, do this for 5-10 minutes, take some deep breaths, kind of get in kind of a calm state of awareness. That'd be number one. Number two, I want you to take a mental note, or even better, to actually have a pad of paper and write down the qualities that you specifically envision that you would need in order to be the type of psychic that you want to be, whatever that is. And think about internal qualities. Think about these sorts of things. For example, do you feel like self-confidence would be on your list? Self-confidence in your abilities. Do you feel like sensitivity to information, would that be something on your list? For most people it is. And kind of write those down. Now the second part on your list is, and this is going to take a little bit of internal turning inward. So let's say that self-confidence was on your list. So try to remember the last time that you felt self-confident. Just a little bit of the feeling. You don't have to get a lot. And when you have that feeling, if you were to imagine a color associated with that, what would that be? See, our brain works in mysterious ways, so a lot of things are connected. So if for self-confidence, if that feeling turns into a blue, then great, it's blue. Write down blue next to your quality. And do the same thing with all your other qualities that you have. Now, let's say that you get the self-confidence that you want. What would you hear? What would people tell you? If there's anything auditory that you would experience when you have that quality for this particular context, write that down. What would people say? What would you say to yourself? Wow, I feel so good. That might be something like that. And then what would it feel like to be self-confident? Would it be kind of a light feeling? So we're kind of just engaging the senses. We're trying to get a little bit of a sensory overlap here. All right, and do this with your other qualities, seeing, hearing, and feeling. So let's say that you have 3 or 4 and you get to the end of it with your little internal exercise. You have your pad of paper with all this information in it. Okay, now it's actually time to actually do the exercise. So what you're going to do is, if you're in a relaxed state, stand up. Imagine there's a circle in front of you and you're standing outside the circle. So I want you to take that first quality, let's say self-confidence, and try to get a little bit of that self-confidence while you're standing outside the circle, and see if you can push that little bit of self-confidence in the circle, just mentally. Blow it out, with your breath, if that's how it works for you. Now imagine that blue color, you also projecting that blue color into the circle. And whatever you heard associated with that self-confidence of being a good psychic, the psychic that you wanted to be. And that feeling, any other feelings, satisfaction, pleasure, associated with you being the self-confident person that you are in this context. Next, go into your other qualities, whether that be like the sensitivity, be sure to put the the color and the feeling, anything you heard. And then go down through the list. And then when you have all of that inside, that's going to be a pretty crowded circle, isn't it? But you have a lot of cool stuff in there, a lot of treasures. All right, you got these treasures in your circle. Now I want you to imagine a picture of yourself into that circle, just another image of you in the circle. And then when everything is ready, I want you to step inside the circle, into the image, into the colors, into the sounds, into the feelings. I just want you to experience it. Get into it. This is you. This is all connected. All right, and when you have had a full experience of that, I want you to imagine yourself in the future, operating in the ways that you imagine yourself operating as a psychic, maybe doing card readings, maybe doing spiritual readings, perhaps doing runes or I Ching or whatever it is that you envision yourself doing. And then carrying all of those thoughts, feelings, and images with you. Do this from the first person. You're going through this and you are going through these experiencing being successful, being the type of psychic that you want to be. And run through this a few times. And then when you've done that, then just kind of take a breath, step out of the circle and just kind of chill out, get back to normal everyday reality. Okay. So that's just the first iteration. So that's the first time doing it. This might take a couple times to get good practice with it. But the more you do it, the more you will be able to make those connections and be able to move even further in your path to becoming the psychic you want to be. All right, because it isn't just about receiving information, it's about having everything lined up on the inside in order to make that happen optimally. Okay, please subscribe and like. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified of videos that come forth, and I'll put a link in the description for the Etsy store and Patreon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.